Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to the Fan Splash. Today it is just me and Tyler getting ready to kill it. We got lots to talk about this week. Tons of news dropped. Some really big stories, in fact, and a couple little ones sprinkled in there. We're going to be talking about Spider-Man Homecoming and Sony's involvement with it. We're going to talk about the Rogue One issue of Entertainment Weekly. A lot of things came out of there. Big story of the week, the one that everyone's talking about, is Warner Brothers having a set visit to Justice League and letting people talk about it like 18 months in advance. Not something you hear happen to very often. You usually got to wait a year at least.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about the new Power Rangers movie and Independence Day a little bit because it just came out a few days ago. So with that, I will begin.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter
Yes.
at the Fan Splash.
You got it.
And then if you don't want to watch the whole thing
SoundCloud.
or you don't have YouTube Red, check us out on SoundCloud.com/fansplash. That's SoundCloud.com/fansplash and Twitter at the Fansplash.
Got it. And if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel that you are currently watching, then please subscribe and comment and like and share and do all our bidding for us.
Yeah, give us money. We want to start making money.
Yes, I would really appreciate your social security number. Leave it down below. Or better yet, in a private message.
Yeah. PM me your card number and I'll buy you Reddit gold.
All right. So let's start out with. I'm gonna go a little out of order here because I want to start out with one of the big stories, and I think that is Rogue One. Rogue One comes out in December, I believe, and so as we get closer, we're starting to find out more and more. And we already, I think, know more about Rogue One than we did walking into The Force Awakens. Like, it's starting to feel that way.
That's very true.
There was a lot of secrecy with Force Awakens, and Rogue One, I feel like, is being treated as a normal blockbuster.
What I heard about The Force Awakens and the whole reason I wanted to see the movie in the first place, like I was super excited about it over any Star Wars film and previously. It was a much different story than what the movie ended up being.
There's a lot of
the
supposed leaks that ended up not being true at all.
Well, the very end kind of like alludes to the leak that I heard being true, like
Revolving around Luke, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Maybe it bleeds into Episode 8 a little bit or something.
Sure, but oh god, Cody was telling me some shit about a leaked script for Episode 8 yesterday, and Andy and I were getting pissed off. Like, stop! Don't tell me, because if it's true, then I don't want to hear it. You know.
I heard something a while ago. You can say spoilers, but I just don't know how real this is. Was it revolving around the island and the Knights of Ren, like coming to the island?
No.
Separate. Okay. That's something I heard a while ago, but I don't know if that's...
He was telling me some shit about some other stuff, man.
Oh. I heard that the movie kicks off with the Knights of Ren finding where Skywalker is and trying to attack him and Rey, and I think Luke just kicks the Knights of Ren's ass all over them.
I really don't want to say what it is on the podcast. I'll tell you later.
Do it.
Okay.
That's fair. Because we haven't established a spoiler warning title thing to put up there yet because I haven't gotten around to it.
We could just like put like a banner that just goes
and then it'll sound like the Rogue One trailer.
Is that what it sounds like?
You saw the first Rogue One trailer, right?
Yeah, like 4 months ago.
Like it has that siren going through it. Anyways, so back to Rogue One. So we have seen a plethora of pictures and kind of doing an introduction to all the characters. And I don't have all the character names written in front of me, because even if I did, I wouldn't be able to announce it. Are you going to rip one? Or are you just leaning?
No, I'm...
Okay.
Crackers are
You look like you were kidding.
Yeah, man.
right into the mic. But yeah, so we have Jen Ursa, which is the Felicity Jones character, the main character of Rogue One. We get to find out a little bit about her, but it's mostly just things you can pick up from the trailer. She's a rebel. She's been alone since she was like 15, abandoned by her parents, or blah, 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 blah. Troublemaker. And, but some of the interesting things come from the side characters. So Donnie Yen, who is probably my favorite martial arts actor. If you've seen anything with Donnie Yen in it, it's phenomenal. Ip Man, had a small role in Blade 2. He's been having trouble transitioning over to American films. It's just kind of here and there.
Is it Ip Man or IP Man? Or?
It's Ip Man because it's based off of the real life person Yip Man, which is like YIP MAN. A lot of people say IP Man, but it is.
Well, I never saw it. Regardless.
It's Ip Man, but if you want to be correct, it's Yip Man. But they know nobody would pronounce it like that because half the people that watched the movie weren't even Chinese. Anyways,
is he like the really weird looking guy that's like shown in like 4 of those photos?
The blind one?
Oh, is he blind?
He's
legitimately blind.
In the movie, he's the blind guy with the staff. Yes.
I don't have the photos. That's okay.
That's okay. We'll look it up later. And then also the other Chinese actor that's in the movie is his friend, and it's cool because they kind of play off of each other. One of them is very much of the faith of the Jedi. You know, he believes in the Force and things like that. And then the other one's almost more of a Han Solo character. But instead of a blaster, he's like landmines, grenades, giant guns and stuff. And so he doesn't believe in the hokey religions and things like that. So it's cool that they're buddies and they work together.
Is Rogue One gonna have a sequel?
It wouldn't make sense because everything that I understand is this butts up right against A New Hope. When it ends, New Hope starts.
But then, isn't there like a time difference between Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope? Like, couldn't there be an in between story with those characters that like comes back?
My feeling is, if we're lucky, maybe one person makes it out of this movie
alive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody's doomed. Okay. Like, because all
you think everybody dies? Okay,
I do. I think this is gonna be a kind of finite story, which is fine, because you would have heard of some of these characters probably, yeah, if they made it out of there.
Well, yeah, they would have been part of like the attack on the Death Star.
Yeah, they would have continued to be part of the Rebel Alliance. Exactly.
You're right. Yeah, they're all gonna die for sure.
And if anybody survives, they're going way away somewhere, probably
Earth.
Yeah, there we go. And then we get to find out about, Alan Tudyk, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do you know he's playing the robot?
No, I did not know that.
He's motion capturing the robot.
Is he a leaf on the wind?
I don't understand.
You don't understand why I would say that, or the reference?
I don't understand the reference.
Oh, it's fucking Serenity.
I figured it was, which I have not seen.
You haven't seen Firefly or Serenity?
I watched half of Firefly.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. Sorry for everyone back home, but I'm not a real fan. I know Alan Tudyk from Dodgeball. Steve the pirate.
You're not a pirate.
There was a guy on our team dressed like a pirate.
Yeah, Steve the pirate.
And then after he gets all cleaned up and stuff, hey, look, it's Steve the pirate. But anyways,
if all the movies to make a sequel to, why not Dodgeball? It's dumb enough that like it has like
I make that point all the time.
It has like a real story, and like Ben Stiller's character is obviously ridiculous. So you could just it's got like a nice blend to it.
You could just have another Dodgeball tournament with like more other creative teams.
Yeah,
like
Revenge of Global Gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it writes itself.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's so much slapstick comedy that you don't have to write that great of dialogue, even though there happens to be pretty good dialogue. Anyways, I'm going completely off track. Back to Alan Tudyk. So I forget the name of his the robot that he plays, but it is an ex-Imperial security droid. Yes. So from my understanding, it's to some degree it's almost like an assassin droid. So we might see him take people out, which would be really cool. And he's huge too. He's like, I don't know, 7-8 feet tall. He's not a C-3PO at all.
Okay, he's large.
I think it's KH something is his name. But I'd have to look it up. And if you rewatch the Rogue One trailer, there's a shot where like all these people are running through the halls and you can see his robot like running with everybody. Okay, cool. Breakdown of other characters.
I would have expected him to like play some sort of voice in like the Clone Wars or Rebels by now.
Maybe he has. I don't know.
Yeah. That just seems like something that he would do. But this is a very fitting role for him then.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Anyway. I wouldn't have minded seeing his face in the movie, but that's okay.
He's just such a beautiful man.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what other details we found out other than the big Forrest Whitaker reveal. Oh, I think Dopinder from Deadpool, I believe, is one of the rebels.
Who?
The taxi guy from Deadpool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I again, don't ask me the name. And then also, yeah, let's go to Forrest Whitaker. So everyone was wondering when they saw the trailer, who is Forrest Whitaker going to be? And we've assumed for a long time that even though the animated shows exist in this Star Wars canon and universe, and I wish Andy was here to talk about this, the assumption was they weren't going to integrate within each other. You know, like the things that happen in the movies weren't necessarily going to affect the things that happened in the show and vice versa. Well, that's been proven wrong and thrown out the window now because Forrest Whitaker is playing a character that has only been in the Clone Wars animated show for like 3 episodes.
Cool.
And he...
3 episodes? That's it?
It was like 2 or 3 episodes.
Like later on or something?
How many seasons was it? Because I think somebody said like season 6 or something.
Yeah, I think there were 5 or 6.
Okay. But his name is Saw Gerrera, and he was a guerrilla fighter. Is that what they're called? Like...
Guerrilla warfare.
Yeah. And him and his group of people were all trained by Anakin Skywalker. And I'm like, please tell me that in this movie we get to see him find out that Vader is Anakin. Because that would be cool. Because it's not common knowledge. Anakin being Darth Vader is not common knowledge. It was kind of told across the galaxy that Anakin Skywalker died.
Oh, you mean people don't know that?
Yeah, people don't know that.
Oh.
Obi-Wan was seriously like the only person that knows that. And he had to figure it out himself.
Whereas a lot of people know Kylo Ren, who he actually is.
Well, at least the old guy did in the beginning. Actually, no, I think the whole Resistance probably does, because they're like, yeah, our kid's Kylo Ren. We fucked up.
That is pretty fucked up.
But, dude, did you look at all those pictures from Rogue One?
Yeah.
Just, like, how beautiful. I don't know where they're shooting.
They're saying it's like a tropical island planet, which was retarded, I thought.
I don't think it's... They have lava planets. You have giant cloud cities. Why can't you have a tropical...
I mean...
There's a million planets out in this
Why
universe.
can't it be somewhere else on a planet that already exists? Like, we have beaches and forests and volcano islands and stuff. Why can't a planet have, like...
Think about Star Wars canon in existence, though. How often are the planets one theme? It's like, this is Mustafar, this is a lava planet, this is Hoth, this is a snow planet, indoor forest planet.
That's so dumb. I mean, I guess it makes... I mean... If you're going like that, and
it's
like
consistent.
the way that that's just like the thing about
I get
Star
that
Wars,
overall with Star Wars
that.
it's dumb, but I'm not gonna point out Rogue One. It's like, well, that's stupid, Rogue One. It's like it's consistent with what they've done.
I mean, that makes sense. That for sure makes sense.
But I just think I love seeing stormtroopers with modern cinema. Like, everything looks so gorgeous, and I just love the look of where we're going with Star Wars. You know, in Clone Wars, they did not have a single person, like, in costume out of the troopers.
Clone Wars?
The Clone Wars movie. Attack of the Clones. I'm sorry. Yeah, Attack of the Clones. The entire army was CGI, and even, like, Commander Cody or whatever was real head on top of CGI body.
Oh, God.
It's so... They messed up. It was bad. And just seeing Force Awakens, when you see all the stormtroopers running around shooting and stuff, it looks so great. It looks so real. And I love it. I love the Death Troopers, the ones in black. They're storming the beaches, and I just made one of those shots my cover photo, so I'm pretty excited. Is there anything that you took away from all the Rogue One stuff? Don't let me just talk. Are you excited?
I got too into the crackers, man. No, we can't do crackers again. They're too exciting. Other than, like, the island planet, no. I mean, obviously, I like the classic Stormtrooper look, so I'm excited to see that. But no, I'm actually just... I'm excited for more Darth Vader, which James Earl Jones confirmed.
Yeah, I guess we can just wrap those two things together. Yeah, James Earl Jones is back as Darth Vader. Now, apparently this was news, but I thought somebody had talked about it a while ago.
Yeah.
But I guess this is just the official, like, from Lucas confirmation that it's happening. It was one of those, like, terribly kept secrets.
I would assume that that's who it would be, given that, like, I mean...
You're not going to have Darth Vader be like, I hate sand, it's coarse and gets in everything.
What?
That's Hayden Christensen
Oh.
as Darth Vader.
But I don't know. I feel like Andy told me that Darth Vader's in one of those animated shows, and it's voiced by James Earl Jones.
It's Rebels, and yes, it is.
Yeah. So, yeah. Why would he not be?
Why not? He's already.
Yeah.
He never left Star Wars.
Why
Like,
would he
he's
not
still
be
there.
in the cinematic movie that's going to make $1 billion?
Exactly. 2, probably.
Yeah.
I think Force Awakens did break $2 billion.
$2 billion,
Holy
but I would
shit.
assume that Rogue One's more like a $1 billion, but it will break $1 billion for sure.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people not in on the know that are confused that Rogue One is not Episode 8. There's slow people out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I have people tell me all the time. They're like, "So I don't understand this next Star Wars movie because where's Rey and Finn and stuff?" I was like, "Well, this is before Episode 4." And people that aren't into Star Wars like us just like flip a table over. Like, fuck this. Like they can't keep up. It's like
That's weird because I'm not even that into Star Wars. Like I enjoy it quite a bit, but I don't, like.
But you're movie coherent though.
Yeah,
And a lot of people aren't.
I don't know half
They're
the
not
shit
savvy.
about it. Like I know that that's Darth Vader and that's a stormtrooper.
And that's Captain Kirk.
Yeah. Did you see these, man? Dr. Pepper collectible glasses
Those are awesome.
from like the 60s.
Very cool.
Or, where are they from? Oh, 76.
Anywho, the ways.
I think that's when they made the first movie.
Vader's back, and I expect to see some badass things from him. Something that they've explained, I believe, in the books, in the comics, is you know how in the later movies, Vader's really, really slow. But obviously Anakin was a very powerful and well-equipped Jedi.
Yeah.
Obviously he lost some limbs, but after Episode 3, I guess he's still really quick and powerful. And there's something that happens between 3 and 4 where it makes him slower. Like his stuff starts being more faulty, and that's why he moves slower.
Huh.
So we might be able to see him in a cool action sequence, possibly in Rogue One.
Is that something that they're just gonna explain in Rogue One that they like made just so that they could use him better in this movie?
I don't know what capacity Vader's going to be in there. I don't know if they're going to sneak the Emperor in there. I would think.
I heard something like he's hunting them or something.
Who's what?
Darth Vader's hunting the
Rebels? That would be cool. They've done something like that in the comics for Star Wars as well. But yeah, I'm super excited for Rogue One. I remember when it first got... It was Episode 8 that got pushed back, wasn't it? Not Rogue One. Rogue One's always been this release date, I think.
I don't. Yeah, Episode 8 got pushed back from
Something to something.
May next year, May 2017. Did it
Yeah,
get
I
pushed
think,
back from there?
I think it's also in December, but I'm not sure.
No, so now it's 2 years.
Yeah, something like that.
God, I'm out of frame for the rest of the podcast.
Well, he's just... Well, except for you right there.
Jellyfish.
Embarrassing yourself. No, but... So, I forgot what I was going to say about Rogue One, but excited for it. Looking forward to
Very,
it.
very excited for more Darth Vader.
Yes.
For sure.
All right. Well, then let us move on to Marvel. Bum, ba-dum, ba-bum. Spider-Man Homecoming. I'll just briefly mention, because I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. They just casted 12 people for the movie. I mean, if you want to, look it up, but I don't really know.
Anybody exciting?
Nobody I know. And they haven't announced who anybody is playing. But if you're curious...
They just
go look
announced
it up.
who's going to be in the movie.
Yeah, I
They don't
cannot
even-
believe the amount of people they cast. I hope they're like teachers and classmates, because I'm like, if there's this many like secondary characters, this movie's gonna be crowded. But now they're starting to rumor that it might be 2 or 3 villains. I'm like, guys, you be careful. Don't you do it.
Don't do it.
We've
Don't
done this twice. Don't you do it.
Oh, God. Spider-Man 3.
Amazing Spider-Man 2. Electro, Goblin, Rhino.
Rhino was briefly at the end of it after everything happened, though.
He was introduced in the beginning, though.
Oh, yeah, sure he was. You're right. Paul Giamatti, though, why? Like, I love Paul.
I am the Rhino!
I love Paul Giamatti, but why? Like, why? For real.
All right, well, the story is, as you guys might know, or maybe you don't know, before Sony and Marvel came to their agreement, Sony wanted to create a shared Spider-Man universe. They wanted to do what Marvel was doing. That's why Amazing Spider-Man 2 was setting up the Sinister Six. They wanted to have like a Black Cat movie, a Venom movie, I don't know, God knows, Aunt May movie, who fucking knows. They're just trying to put everything together.
They're trying to not go out of business.
Right. That's exactly it. And in trying to do so, they were nosediving. I guess the folks behind Sony, the ones that are in charge of everything, they still want to do this shared Spider-Man universe, and I think they're trying to work with Marvel to make that happen to a certain degree. But of course, Marvel has to think it's a good idea because they have creative control, and Sony just says give us the check every time you make one of our movies, which I think
smart move.
Yeah, that's probably how the relationship should go because, and I've probably mentioned this several times. When you have a movie called Guardians of the Galaxy that nobody or their mother has heard of, make like 100 or 200 million more than your Amazing Spider-Man franchise, you're not doing something right.
Yeah, everybody knows who Spider-Man is. There's something wrong with that.
It's just like, yep, we're not going to podcast without it. Batman versus Superman should have made $1 billion because it's Batman and Superman, but they did something wrong.
We were gonna heavily talk about Batman versus Superman in this one, though.
Well, we're going to talk about Justice League. But we have to talk about BVS to do Justice League. But anyways, so they want to develop a shared Spider-Man universe. And they've given Marvel the creative control. So we'll see what we get. Because something I've heard from Sony, they really want to do a Venom-focused movie. It sounds like it'd almost be like Venom as the lead character. I don't need that.
No, I don't want that.
I don't want it either. There's rumors that they might introduce the guy that becomes Carnage in this movie.
That would be so dope. Please do a Carnage movie.
Yes.
We have not seen Carnage.
I don't need it right.
Goblin twice.
I don't need it immediately for this first Homecoming
want it
movie,
immediately.
But
I want
set it up.
Yeah, set it up because...
Cletus Cassidy, isn't that Carnage's name?
Yeah, something like that. Carnage would be more of like, you want Spider-Man to be a little more defined, a little more aged and more characteristic.
Carnage is scary.
Had been Spider-Man for a while. That's right. So... We already got Spider-Man in Civil War. He's going to have his own movie. He'll probably appear in the next Avengers.
Infinity War?
Yeah.
I want to know how they're going to take everyone up into space. Because not all of them are super mobile.
I mean, a spaceship, right?
Yeah, but what happens when you get off the spaceship? You're Spider-Man into like an astronaut suit?
Maybe there'll be some Stark tech that puts some sort of atmosphere shield around them. If Iron Man can exist, then there's some technology that can make them live in space. Because in what happens in the comics? Do they just breathe space?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know something.
I would assume it would be like Jimmy Neutron, where they just go into space and then it doesn't matter with helmets or anything. they would freeze to death and then suffocate.
I don't digest pulp well. It makes me bloaty.
What were we talking about? Oh, Carnage. Yeah, I want Carnage to be like this big, I want it to be realistic and brutal. You know what I mean?
Well, Cletus Cassidy is a murderer. Yeah. Eddie Brock was just kind of a guy that was a little bit of a douche.
But he got taken over by that symbiote shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and I don't remember exactly how Carnage became Carnage, but yeah, it's what the symbiote does, and you even see this when it attaches to Spider-Man, is it feeds off of your worst characteristics.
Right.
So it makes good, bad, worse, evil. You know.
Well, that's yeah. I mean, Venom looked good in Spider-Man 3, but Topher Grace was
until his face peeled back, and he's like,
"Oh, hey, yeah, Peter. Why? Hey, it's me."
My spider sense is tingling, if you get what I mean. I'm like, are you kidding me? Stop. No quips.
Bad casting. I love Topher Grace.
Dwayne Johnson for Venom.
I mean, maybe. Somebody. It needs to be somebody Spider-Man.
He's already going to be Black Adam.
But
do you think Venom needs to? Eddie Brock could be old. Well, how about this? Peter is supposed to be a sophomore in Homecoming. Maybe Eddie's in college.
Sophomore in high school?
Yeah.
In Homecoming?
Mm-hmm. That's what I heard.
Was he a freshman?
Possibly.
I thought he was
because I think they want to do a trilogy in high school. Yeah,
I guess he's supposed to be...
He's supposed to be 15.
No, that's a little young. I thought he was 16. He looks really, really young, though.
In a lot of the story... Well, he's 19 in real life, so it's not that much of a stretch.
No.
A lot of the best stories in Spider-Man, he gets bit at 15 at a very young age. Or the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, he's like 15, and I really like those stories. But not that much else to say about Spider-Man unless you had something.
No, just please make like a Six-Arm Saga or a Doppelganger Spider-Man. Doppelganger Spider-Man.
Give us some villains that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So I know the rumor is Michael Keaton's going to be Vulture. I'd like somebody else as Vulture, and I want Michael Keaton as J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, that would work, but I would prefer that there's no Vulture.
That's the preference, but I don't know if that's what we're getting. All right, moving on.
Jamie Foxx to return as Electro.
That would be the best choice.
Oh, you don't know? I'm Electro. No, because you've literally just said that for the first time. Nobody knows.
You don't remember me?
No. We met once.
I saved you from a car like I do with 1,000 people a day.
God, you're a psychotic. It's my birthday.
So let's talk about the one who knocks.
Oh, Bryan Cranston is gonna be Zordon in Power Rangers.
I'm so excited.
Rangers, assemble.
All I can think of is who's going to be Alpha 5. Ay.
Who is gonna be Alpha?
Don't know.
The voice. It's Alan Tudyk.
It is Sarah Silverman.
Oh no. Why not though?
I think that's a good choice. Her voice is really annoying and grating and makes me want to cut my wrists.
Sarah Silverman, really?
Yeah. I like Wreck-It Ralph, but every time she talks, I'm like...
I like Sarah Silverman.
So I'm secretly, slash
love
not
with her.
that secretly, getting really excited for Power Rangers. Is that bad?
I don't know. I got super excited for Godzilla, and then Bryan Cranston died in like 12 seconds.
I still
And
like
then,
Godzilla. And you know, by the way, Gareth Edwards that did Godzilla's the one doing Rogue One.
Yeah.
Okay, I did. Right.
I just thought Godzilla was a little fat.
I love his design. Have you seen the design of the new Japanese Godzilla? The one that they're doing?
Are they doing Japanese Godzilla?
They're doing to combat our Godzilla that we made. Now they're like, well, we want to reboot our Godzilla. He looks terrible. I'll show you.
Is
later.
he gonna like fight our Godzilla in a movie?
No, it's a fully Japanese movie.
I would almost prefer to see the Japanese version because I know that the Japanese can do Godzilla right. You know, Godzilla versus Mothra and stuff like that. That's the kind of Godzilla that I want to see.
Speaking of Power Rangers, the Godzilla movies look like a Power Rangers episode.
Yeah. Classically, yeah, they do. Anyway,
I just watched the first 45 minutes of the Power Rangers movie that I haven't seen in forever. Like a couple days ago.
the Ivan Ooze one?
Yeah.
How terrible is the acting?
I love it.
Dude,
I'm in so much love with it.
The movie is great. The acting is hard to get past. It's bad.
Dude, it's like, I expected worse. When I went to watch it, I was like, this is going to be unbearable. I was laughing. I was enjoying, other than the fact that punches never connected, which was pretty great.
Then their suits are like puffy and shitty.
Yeah.
They look like pillows like stitched together.
But I hit nostalgia bomb really hard.
It's a good movie. The story itself. When you think about Power Rangers, like the overarching story, like the whole storyline, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm excited. It's the Bryan Cranston. I'm just imagine it has to be Walter White, like the Walter White. Well, you know,
shaved head.
But then this would be shaved too.
Probably.
But I'm just imagining like Rangers.
We are the ones who knock.
Stay out of my territory. I don't know.
And then I bet you they show up for the first time, and they're like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Say my name." We don't know it. You're goddamn right.
I'm Electro.
So we have Elizabeth Banks, who's pretty funny. It seems like, even though she looks like Poison Ivy, I think it's interesting casting for Rita Repulsa. Are we not going to get Zed? Or Zurg? What was his name?
Lord Zed.
Lord Zed.
I doubt it. If we're getting Zordon,
Why? Because he looks like a testicle?
Lord Zed is the coolest part of Power Rangers. He looks awesome. But
make my monsters grow! Are we going to get some of that?
maybe.
The
I can
important
see,
question.
I can see Elizabeth Banks doing that.
Totally. I can too. I think
sure.
I want this movie. you usually don't want this going into a movie, but I want the cheese.
Oh yeah,
Like
you want a little bit of cheese.
Yeah, give me the cheese, and I will be okay with it.
Give me the cheese.
Cheddar it up. Cheddar up my Power Rangers movie. I would be totally okay. Like, I want this Power Rangers movie to be kind of how much I enjoyed the last Ninja Turtles movie that just came out. Like, it was cheesy, it was fun, there's great action in it, I had a good time, I wanted to see another one.
I was so upset by the shitty design of the Ninja Turtles that I wanted something better for the Power Rangers, and then they had to go Iron Man with it. And I don't think that was very well received, was it?
Overall, it really wasn't, but I want to ask, what were they supposed to do?
I mean, maybe not like the costumes, like they're just like cloth, but like, why can't an alien race, like, why can't like an ancient alien society that like came up with these power tokens and shit like that, why can't they just have costumes? Why does it have to be like this assimilated form that like mutates to you?
I'm one of the few supporters, and that's one of the things they said is that this was like alien technology, and it kind of grows on them. It's like it's almost organic, and I'm cool with that. And I kind of like it because I'm not so stuck on the design of how things are going to look in the movie as to the story and the elements of the teenagers, being given this power, this gift, and they better nail the Zords. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, the Zords.
Yeah.
And then they need to have a Megazord scene for sure.
Hell yes.
But I don't understand why they can't have like their symbols. Like, the power tokens are specifically made to like be like from Earth, which is why they have like the dinosaur,
sure,
the mammoth,
right,
the saber tooth. Why can't they have those symbols and like that reflected on their helmets and stuff like that? Well, I just don't understand.
We'll see. I'm very curious for a trailer, and they've been filming for like a month or two now. So I bet you in Comic-Con we'll get a tease. This is going to be a huge Comic-Con this year.
Has anybody like on the set just like looked at them and been like they're filming it and like looked and been like, no, you know what? This is fucking stupid. We got to change this. This is the way it should be, and this is what people will like better. And you don't have to do that much explaining with it. This you're trying to do. It's just like I don't know, man. I feel like somebody's got to open their mouth about something. I really feel like a lot of the designs that are coming out of the woodwork, especially with the Ninja Turtles, like, holy shit. But somebody is just getting paid too much money to be pat on the back. Just like,
yeah.
It's
not a kid. You know what's really upsetting is when after these movies come out and you see concept art of things that they were working on, how they could have looked. It's like, yes, that's like,
who made the decision? Somebody was like, oh, like this one. And they happen to be the stupidest person on earth, but they're also the highest paid. And so they have to get pat on the back.
I saw that with Ninja Turtles, and I saw some designs. I'm like, yes, that looks great. And then I've seen designs for how they were going to make Apocalypse look a little bit differently. It looked better.
I didn't mind
Apocalypse. I didn't mind him. I'm not saying I hated it, but there was a better version in the concept.
Okay. I can believe it.
Yeah, aesthetic changes looked a little more comic accurate and probably would have been better represented on screen. Maybe made him a little bit taller and bigger with CGI enhancements.
But he's supposed to be like this big, ugly, ugly. Hey, he was ugly, for sure.
Yeah. Sorry, Oscar.
Oh, come on. Like, what? He did look like Ivan Ooze.
Yes. We got a little sidetracked, kind of sidetracked. Excited for Bryan Cranston. I want to see. I'm just telling you, I really want to see a trailer because I'm reserving judgment. Right now, I'm excited. And then we got that poster. It's a very simple poster. Reminds me of one of the early Guardians of the Galaxy posters. Not that one. It's just them on their, Rangers 4x4, whatever it is. And they're looking up at the stars. And it says, was it Together We Are More or United We Are More? Or something like that. It seems very traditional Power Rangers. And I'm down. So...
I mean, like, I'm not going to see it.
Right.
I'm excited that it's going to be a thing, and I'm sure they'll make it work for me, but at this point, I don't like the costume design.
Which leads me into a great transition. After I finish this cracker. Bad
How
choice.
dare you? You monster.
All right.
We're
So
doing a podcast.
Speaking of things, as you lick your freaking gums, speaking of things that people are not always for, Independence Day Resurgence is apparently actually a disaster movie, and what I mean by that is, I haven't looked at the numbers, but my estimate is that it's tanking because every critical response and audience response has been, this movie's a complete and utter pile of steaming horse shit. And I don't get it.
Dog shit.
All of it. It's all the shits.
All the shits. And you don't get it because you saw it.
Yeah, I just saw it 2 nights ago, and I was thoroughly entertained. I was like, okay.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
I give the movie probably, I don't know, a 7, which is still it's better than bad. You know, 7's good.
7's good.
Maybe even 7.5. Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's a lot that I really liked in it. I think I like Independence Day more than I like Warcraft.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Warcraft wasn't great.
I didn't think
It wasn't bad.
But yeah,
It was a good story, but it was, if I didn't have Cody like the whole time telling me, you know, this is this person and then that used to be this and this is what's going on and they're setting up this because this is the precursor to that and then that's going on with this and that and then the other thing, I would have been like, I would have had no fucking idea what was going on at all.
I can summarize Independence Day a little bit. One of the big things that I know is going to sting for people is that Will Smith's not in it. We knew this already. No, I mean, I don't really.
I mean, people have that hope though that he's, you know, they say he's not gonna be in it, but I think he's gonna be in it.
And I'm not calling this a spoiler because the people behind Independence Day, like 3 or 4 months ago, said, "Hey, Captain Hillard died test piloting one of our new Warcraft like ships. Not Warcraft, but warships. You know, like the
Warcraft."
So yeah, the Goldblum does great. Liam Hemsworth does better than normal, which is cool. The guy that plays Will Smith's son really, no charisma.
Because you're racist.
Not
I'm
at
just
all.
kidding.
Not at all. Honestly, one of my biggest issues with the movie, because I noticed Will Smith's absence, but it didn't ruin the movie for me.
Right.
You remember Dr. Oaken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, how did he not die?
I guess he just went into like gnarly coma.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he got strangled, and we didn't for sure see him die.
No, I know. Because I remembered the last time I watched it, I was like, oh, he didn't die.
Yeah.
And then I was like, he for sure should have, though.
Yeah.
Like, of all people that could have died.
So he's probably the worst part of this movie, or one of. He's given too much to do, and I won't give details, but there's a subplot with him and another character that comes out of nowhere and makes no sense, and it just feels like a forced agenda to try to appeal to certain members of society. I don't want to, be overly specific. That might have been more confusing than necessary, but they just forced something that didn't need to be forced, and it was not natural, and it detracts from the movie a lot. But yeah. Overall, action was fun. Some funny lines. It's cool to see President's daughter all grown up. It was great to see Bill Pullman back as the ex-president, all PTSD'd out and all that stuff.
What had he been up to, or is that a spoiler?
I guess it's not too much of a spoiler. It's I think he and a couple other people have been affected by the alien attack mentally.
Okay.
Like they're getting like blips of alien signs and stuff like that, and so he's gone a little cuckoo.
Okay.
Yeah. But he gets a great redemption in the movie, and some cool things happen, and
cool.
Worth seeing. I'm telling everybody right now, go form your own opinion, and I mean, if you
don't
have
listen to the critics.
Yeah, if you have to, I guess.
Because I like Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, if you have to, wait till the cheap theaters. But I've been telling several people this over the last few days. The last 4 movies I saw roughly were all better than what the critics are saying. Like, if you just lower your bar a little bit, dislodge the stick out of your ass, and freaking just be like, hey, I want to have a good time and enjoy some things. Don't overthink it so much. Now, Batman v Superman, I acknowledge, blatantly had some big issues with it. I'm not
there were
huge
huge issues with it.
But these other 4, I feel like, were smaller issues. Like, I'm trying to remember. So,
But Batman vs Superman was also pretty like cinematically impressive, and
It
I
was.
enjoyed that thoroughly.
Ninja Turtles 2, I thought was great. Any issues I had with it were minor. Warcraft, I had minor issues with. I don't feel like it was overall targeted for me. I just wanted to see it because, I like fantasy movies.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Like I feel like I've seen that story before.
The
but
CGI
it's
was impressive.
it's good. I mean,
Really good.
Yeah,
So there's 4 movies. Warcraft, Ninja Turtles 2.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, X-Men Apocalypse. Why are people crapping on it? It's one of the better X-Men films.
It for sure is.
Yeah, like not to get into side rant about it, but I couldn't have been more pessimistic going into that film. I was like, I'm going to take a fat turd on this movie, and then I liked it.
I can't wait to tear this shit apart.
Yeah, and I
great.
really didn't have that many negative things to say about it. A couple, but that's mostly about the overarching X-Men storyline, not this particular film. And then, of course, ending with Independence Day, which again, I walked out happy and smiling and talking to my friends like that was a fun movie.
And then the critics are like, "That was gay."
Yeah,
Or I mean, not gay, but gay in the high school sense.
not to offend maybe one of our 25 viewers that happens to be gay. Sorry, Tristan.
Moment of silence for my fuck up.
That's right.
Sorry, Wanda Sykes.
It's better than my racial slur a while back.
Did you? Oh, the.
I don't remember. I think when Andy was here.
Oh, but you cut it out.
No, that's right. Because I can do that. I got the power!
Anyway, the critics are saying this movie isn't very good.
It kind of like what you said with Warcraft, though. It's not great.
Yeah.
But there's not like... It's only not great because there's not that much that stands out. But there's also not that much negative stuff
It's not going to be a classic. It's just going to be a movie that comes and goes that you see, you're like, oh, it was decent. And then it goes away. And then you're like, oh, I remember that movie.
Yeah, like,
later.
If, let's say a few years down the road, if I'm sitting and watching TV, it comes on, I'll probably sit and watch it.
No, okay.
Like, I really don't have a lot of negative stuff to say about it. Just a couple forced elements. That's it. But I will say that they set it up for another one. I don't know if it's going to happen because I think this movie is going to die, crash, and burn in theaters.
Yeah, well.
Critics are getting more and more power as time goes on. And with all the YouTube things and stuff and people making podcasts reviewing movies. Like,
yeah. Who watches or listens
Pricks.
to podcasts? Stupid assholes. We usually have good things to say, though.
Yeah. Because we're more intellectual.
I feel like Jeff Goldblum kind of knew it was going to be a turd, putting himself in the Marvel universe like that.
That's right. He's going to be, what's his face in Thor. Excellent. So, we're ready for the big story.
All right.
We're going to close it down with the Justice League set visit for all the people that are apparently better than us. So if you guys could get us a couple million subscribers so we could go to the next Warner Brothers set visit, that would be fantastic, and I'd really appreciate it. And I will send you money.
It's funny because there are people that watch it every single time, but they're like, I like it, but I don't know if it's for any of my friends. Like, I don't want to tell my friends.
And you're the worst kind of people.
But
Where to
apparently
begin?
we don't have any friends.
Where to begin on the Justice League visit? Well, luckily I have a link, so I know where to begin. First off, and this was... the confirmation is interesting, but it wasn't that big of a surprise, because if any of you are paying really close attention, after the release of Batman v Superman, they released a deleted scene. And that was Zack Snyder's way of really being like, hey, the movie that's in theaters is not the movie I made, not what I cut. I wanted to give you more. I wanted to give you something else. This is not left where it should be left. And he showed Lex Luthor getting picked up by the cops. And when he gets picked up by the cops, he's sitting in the pool in the Kryptonian ship. And there's like a Kryptonian technology projecting images. And it's Steppenwolf, which is Darkseid's uncle. And he has 3 mother boxes rotating around him. And then they like dissolve and disappear. And that's basically kind of should have been like the end credit scene almost. It's like, this is what's coming, but we had to cut it out of the movie because Warner Brothers wouldn't let me have a 3-hour movie. Long story short, or not that short.
Which I'm still excited for the Ultimate Edition.
Like 3 days, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, and then digital download, and then another.
But
month.
I don't know if I'm ready to see the movie again that soon. I've seen it twice.
I'm waiting for it. I'm gonna watch it immediately.
You need to let me know if I should take.
Why don't
3
we
hours
watch
to
it?
Yeah. Okay, we can.
Yeah. Why don't you come over to my house for once? And
Okay. Yeah. I
right,
mean,
and
if
then-
it would be fine
and
that
then
I
we can
stay
do-
there for 3 hours.
yeah, and then we can do an Ultimate Edition review.
All right.
That'd be cool.
Oh, I could do a Think Now review.
Yeah.
Be part of the Think Now network.
So a couple years ago or whatever it was, Warner Brothers announced in the most anticlimactic way possible, like not even at a press release, but at like a secret meeting that leaked out like what their upcoming movies were going to be and when, like The Flash and Green Lantern, Cyborg, all that stuff. They said there's going to be Justice League Part 1 and Justice League Part 2, like 2 years later.
Now that's not the case.
That is not the case now. It is like, you don't call Age of Ultron's not Avengers Part 2.
Right.
It is a separate Avengers story.
Well, Avengers isn't even. It's Assemble. Avengers Assemble. Is the name of the movie.
The first one?
Yeah.
In the UK. Here it's just the Avengers.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Avengers Assemble is the Europe title.
Good God.
Just like in every other country, Captain America is called the First Avenger. It's not Captain America the First Avenger. It's just the First Avenger. Did you know that?
It's not called Captain America at all.
Nope. It's not. In China, Australia, maybe Australia, but a lot of the like more foreign countries, it's just the First Avenger.
Why? Because they don't want to have a Captain America.
Something like that.
Well,
And then,
how many? By the way, how many foreign films do you watch? Do you ever watch any foreign films? Ever?
I want to watch The Raid, but the version that my friend has downloaded for me, don't call the cops, it doesn't have subtitles. So if I can get a subtitle version of The Raid, I will watch both of them. I really want to.
I want to watch like the Japanese Gundam movie. One of that they've made a couple, haven't they?
That I'm
a
not,
couple
I'm
of
not sure.
times.
And you have to see the Ip Man movies. That's Cantonese, I believe. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't
There's
mind
3 of
them, but it's just like we have so many movies come out. It's kind of weird
It's gonna
that
be harder.
like I was just thinking about that. I was like, play these movies in other countries and they do well in other countries. How many other movies come to our theaters and like make money from like where's the foreign film industry?
it's a really good point.
It's dead.
It's
not
a really
here.
tragic good point. Because
I think there might be some sort of Hollywood monopoly going on.
America is like the least worldly nation.
Yeah. Oh God, get some culture, America.
Come on,
What
guys.
the fuck is wrong with you?
We're the biggest, like, not crock pot. What's the word? There's a word when you're a giant mixture of.
Crockpot.
Next point.
We're the biggest crockpot.
Anyways, sorry for the
Don't touch my feet.
sorry for the footsie. So going back, Justice League's going to be a standalone film, and then we'll have a couple movies in between. Then we'll have
And
another Justice League movie, not Justice League Part 2.
it's just called Justice League,
Right.
isn't it?
That's the
not
other thing.
even the Justice League. It's Justice League.
Yes, and like Infinity War, supposedly they said they're going to come up with different titles, but that's still being treated as a Part 1, Part 2.
Is it?
Yeah, for Marvel.
Okay.
Because it's Thanos throughout, right? And they're only like a year apart or something. They're filming for like 9 months straight to do those movies. And
Are they filming them back to back?
Infinity War?
Yeah.
They got the time slot for all the actors and said, we need you for 9 months. Like, straight up, and we're going to film them both. And then release them like a year apart.
And they're like, no, I have a TV show.
But that makes sense when you are going to have a lot of the same sets,
Yeah.
a lot of the same actors.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what they did with Lord of the Rings. It made more sense to film them back to back.
You don't want somebody, like getting excited about the movie coming out and then dying of a drug overdose,
What?
Oh, yeah, that happens all the time. They'll be like, oh, I can't wait for, The Dark Knight Rises. And, it's like, oh, wait.
I almost died of a drug overdose after
Heath Ledger's
watching it.
dead. And then,
I'm just kidding, guys. I don't do that.
and then, yeah, it happens all the time.
Well, that is tragic, and I'm not going to...
That's what I was always worried about with Game of Thrones, like somebody becoming too much of a star.
I'm not going to
Just
talk
getting-
about it, but if you guys don't watch Game of Thrones, Battle of the Bastards, holy fuck. Damn. And then in a couple weeks, we're going to have our Game of Thrones season review, so
Hell
keep
yeah,
in
that's
tune
gonna be great.
for that. This is an awesome season. The last episode's going to be an hour and a half long. Woo!
Tomorrow, man.
Woo! Yeah. I might not be able to watch. Yeah, I'll be watching it with the next couple
I won't
days.
watch it tomorrow, but I will watch. There will be things. There will be things. My brain is not even working.
All right.
I will watch it.
Moving on. So, a little bit what we brought up earlier with the mother boxes. They're going to be the MacGuffin of the story. They said they're going to take a lot of...
Wow, nice. MacGuffin. Right on.
Yep.
There you go, Alfred Hitchcock. Oh, wait, you're dead.
So, for those of you that don't know, MacGuffins are a lot of the times these movies, there's something that everybody's after that you got to get. It's a giant, huge plot device, and it's often an object. Raiders of the Lost Ark. The Lost Ark.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, Cosmic Cube, the Tesseract in the Avengers. Like, there's almost always a MacGuffin. Some people think it's a derogatory statement for, like, an overly simple movie. It's not. Most movies have MacGuffins. Anything that's an adventure-type movie.
Yeah. I mean, and initially the MacGuffin is...
Right on.
Sorry, I started hearing, like, a weird screeching sound. Did you not hear that?
Mm-mm. Anyway,
so Alfred Hitchcock described the MacGuffin as nothing. It's kind of weird. But anyway.
So there's going to be 3 mother boxes. And what they said during the set visit is, which this doesn't make sense because all these places are on Earth, but they said there's one on Earth, one on Atlantis, and one in Themyscira, where Wonder Woman's from. And...
Is she from another planet?
No.
Oh.
And Atlantis is on Earth, too. So
Oh.
I think what they were trying to say is one's like...
In the general public.
Yeah, and then
one
the other
in
one.
Atlantis.
Because they're almost like their own separate universes. Themyscira is off on its own. Atlantis is... They're separate cultures.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're trying to say, because there's not an
Okay.
easy way to say that. However, we already know where the Earth one is.
Cyborg.
Cyborg is a mother box. The mother box bonded with him and created Cyborg.
And that happens in Justice League War too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except for there wasn't like a few other ones. And yet the mother boxes, for those of you that don't know, are ways they create these boom tubes, which are giant teleportation like black holes that can go back and forth between Earth and Apocalypse. Not the X-Men villain, the planet where Darkseid is from. Apocalypse with a K. And that's why Cyborg is so crucial to the Justice League, is he can summon portals. Mm-hmm. Any given time, just bloop, portal, because he's part Mother Box. Moving on, Justice League takes place a few months after Batman v Superman, so not a year or anything like that. And then a big chunk of the movie, so I'm assuming maybe the first hour and a half, which seems like a long time. But that's going to focus on Batman assembling the team, and Superman should return probably in the third act, which I'm fine with. Give us a little break. Let him have a triumphant return.
He'll be there later, and he'll have longer hair.
Yeah.
Just like he
did in the death of Superman.
Yeah.
Or the return of Superman, whatever. You really rushed his death, so please don't rush his resurrection. Because that was forced.
Yeah, but I mean, like they're saying, he probably doesn't show up till like that, more towards the end of the movie.
I'm already seeing it in my mind and watching the newfound Justice League fight all the parademons and Steppenwolf and getting overwhelmed. Just Superman coming in, just cleaning house. To me, it just sounds like great. Like, I'm probably going to cheer in the theater, and I haven't even seen it already. It's cliche, but I want it.
It's how you make Superman exciting.
Yeah, exactly. And this also gives them an opportunity to give us a little bit of a new Superman. Like some new characteristics and stuff like that, and kind of course correct a little bit with what they're doing. They're making him too dark. Maybe when he's resurrected, he gains some hope. He sees all these heroes brought together.
And this is supposed to be more of a lighthearted, fun film. It's supposed to be more fun.
DC and Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder, and I like this. I like that they're not stubborn headed. There's like, listen, we already had this plot set up for Justice League. We already knew story-wise where this was going. But we can make corrections to script. We can make directions to tone, lighting, the overall look and feel of the film, while keeping the same story. I'm like, great, do that. Because Batman vs. Superman, I don't think your story was shit.
It was just too serious.
Yeah, you lacked levity, and you lacked...
Comic relief.
Yeah, comic relief.
There was no comic relief.
And it was really, really dark.
Yeah.
And there should be dark moments, but the whole movie was dark and dingy.
The whole tone of the movie was dark.
Right.
And I feel like maybe some of that might have got cut out.
Sure. And I think BVS was really dark. Some people say Man of Steel is dark, but I still felt hope instilled in me, and I still thought that like Superman represented something greater, and there was inspiring moments. There was when he's going up through the beam. I love that movie.
Green Lantern had like a nice balance with that. So.
Sure, it's a little bit of a
shit but...
mess. Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. They said Steppenwolf. They have yet to announce his casting.
Yeah.
But I think they're talking with somebody, is what it sounds like.
Good.
They have somebody in mind right now, and they're trying to close the deal.
I wonder who it's going to be. Who do you think it would be?
Dwayne Johnson.
Why is that always got to be Dwayne Johnson?
Because I'm just making fun of the fact they signed up for 13, 14 films.
Dude. What about the Flash?
The Flash in the Justice League.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller. I'm looking forward to him a lot more than I thought I would. I really liked him in BVS.
I mean, he doesn't do a whole lot, but yeah, I'm super excited for the Flash. I want to see a cinematic.
How far are you on the show now?
I just watched episode 3
of season 2.
Yeah,
nice.
I got to Firestorm conclusion.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I really like the Flash TV show like a lot, actually. God damn it! I gotta get back in frame. You've zoomed in too much. You're fired. Next podcast will be my new co-host. I'm kidding. Yeah, he can fire me. But I just want to see like a cinematic, like a serious, like can do anything Flash. You know, like.
You mean serious, like his abilities and stories taken seriously, or you mean him himself? Because I feel like he's the best potential for being comedic.
I heard that he's like the biggest comic relief. So like
Everybody
Flash
coming out of the set visit was talking Flash.
The Flash is already rumored to be the best part of Justice League, which is very exciting. Very, very, very exciting for me. But no, I mean like I want like a serious Flash story with good Hollywood writers just on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, do you know who's writing the Flash? The Flash movie.
No.
Lord and Miller, the Lego movie.
Have
guys.
they started it?
Writing it? I'm not sure. They did Lego movie and the 20.
But they're not directing it?
They were directing it, and then they got signed on to do the Han Solo movie. So then they left it, but they said they're still going to write it. And they got somebody else to direct it.
And Jeffrey Dean Morgan wants to do a Flashpoint story. Why not do Flash? You get a little bit of Flash in Batman vs Superman. You're gonna get him more in Justice League. The Flash standalone movie should be a Flashpoint story.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is Thomas Wayne, and in the Flashpoint storyline, Flash does something selfish, ruins the entire timeline, and then Bruce Wayne dies instead of his dad and mother, and then Thomas Wayne becomes Batman, but a Batman closer to what we saw in PBS, actually.
Yeah.
Kind of a murderous. He uses guns, straight up.
He's a murks some fools up.
It's basically Punisher Batman.
But yeah, he is the Punisher Batman.
And Jeffrey Dean Morgan as that would be awesome.
Killer, yeah.
And it's perfect because it's a one-off. It's not like you're casting him as Batman.
And they could use it to introduce like Green Lantern and stuff like that.
That would be cool.
If he won't be previously introduced.
Right.
Who else is not there yet?
Shazam.
Green Lantern and Shazam
are the two characters that are Justice League members that are not there yet that have movies coming out. Except, so they announced the Shazam movie a while ago. They've even casted The Rock in it. And then at The
Rock is Shazam?
Black Adam.
Oh. Okay.
But they've, through all these press releases, they've talked about the Cyborg movie. They've talked about the Flash movie. They talked about Green Lantern movie. They show logos for all of these. Shazam's been completely ignored ever since the first announcement.
That's so weird because I really enjoy Shazam. I feel like he's a more human Superman. And
I want to see either Channing Tatum or Zac Efron play Shazam.
Zac Efron, no. I could see Channing. I want somebody very...
Or John Cena.
Yeah, I think John Cena would be an appropriate Shazam because there needs to be like a huge transition between, what's his name, Barton or...
Billy Batson.
Billy Batson. Yeah. There needs to be a big transition from him being a kid to like turning into this god, right? So I think if he just turns into like Zac Efron, even though he's like a bulkier dude.
Have
It's
you
not
seen
going to
Zac
be
Efron Baywatch style?
I said even though he's a bulkier dude, he's not like
Sure.
John Cena. I think that there needs to be like some like
And then we get John Cena versus The Rock.
yeah. There you go. Oh, come on. They're doing it. Why not?
Right?
And John Cena's not a bad actor. If you saw Trainwreck, he's pretty funny.
Yeah. He's. Did you see Daddy's Home?
No.
Okay.
Is he in that?
I hate Daddy's Home, but he comes in
it
at the
looked
last.
bad.
He comes in at the last 5 minutes. The only time I laughed the entire movie was John Cena in the last 5 minutes.
There really was no funny back and forth between Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
Dude, I
find that hard to believe.
I love Other Guys. I hate Daddy's Home.
It looked bad.
It's
the trailer looks bad. Makes it look like I don't want to see
worse
that
than
movie.
the trailer.
God,
Somehow.
that's fucked, man. Because I want to believe in Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg playing off each other. They should just make Another Guys too.
Yes, they should.
God,
they should call it Another Guys.
Another Guys?
Yeah.
That's actually not terrible.
Hire me.
Yeah.
All right. So what else?
And
do we
Smart
have?
Water, give us money.
So, as I was saying, Steppenwolf has yet to be cast. Darkseid's influence would be felt. Obviously, the parademons are gonna show up, which parademons are kind of gonna be like this movie's Chitauri, like just mindless aliens that the Justice League could rip through, which is fine. But at least Steppenwolf is probably somebody they can physically fight, whereas in the Avengers, it was pretty much the Avengers fighting the Chitauri, and they fought the Hulk a little bit. But every time one of them came up against Loki, they pretty much kicked his ass. Steppenwolf could probably take on the whole Justice League, maybe sans Superman. You know, Batman will upgrade his suit. They said that there will be both his regular version and a more tactical, almost robotic suit. And they said we're going to see more of the white eyes in this film as well.
Good.
Thank you. Bruce Wayne is building...
Batman.
Yes. Bruce Wayne is building a jet called the Flying Fox for the team to use that I think it's like a 3-story jet. This is monstrous.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. He's also going to have a new vehicle called the Nightcrawler, not the Blue Mutant from X-Men, but it is take the Batmobile and give it like 4 giant kind of like spider legs, and it can go on terrain that the Batmobile can't or like a jet can't. So it can like climb up walls and stuff. I guess there's going to be a giant tunnel set piece in the film.
And this was supposedly designed by his father.
Yes.
Nightcrawler.
Okay, so yeah, you have read a lot of it. It was either the Nightcrawler or the Flying Fox. I don't know if both of them were, but one of them was designed by Thomas Wayne, which does make sense in like DC canon stuff because Thomas Wayne was a doctor. But I guess Wayne Enterprises has always had a Wayne Tech branch, so that's fine.
No.
We now know who Willem Dafoe is. And you, having not read some of the recent comics, might not know who this is, but
no.
I have and I do. His name is Vulko, or is that right?
Vulko.
Vulko, yeah. Vulko. Yeah. It says in here a mentor to Aquaman, but in the comics, he was originally an Atlantean advisor, and then he got banished from Atlantis and was spending his time kind of hiding out on Earth. And then some shit happens, and he gets called back to Atlantis. And there's big Atlantean civil war pretty much happens. Come to find out, Vulko was behind it because he was so hell-bent on getting Arthur, which is Aquaman, back to Atlantis. Because he had left Atlantis, gone landside, and Vulko wanted him to come back, so he created a civil war to give him a reason to come back. And that was in the New 52 comics. Mera is...
New 52 sounds like the best comic book series.
It's so good.
Sounds
and then they rebooted
wonderful.
it with
Already?
Rebirth. Yeah,
Again?
already. They started in like 2006 or something like that. But they started Rebirth now. I read like the first issue that like starts Rebirth. I hate it. I don't like anything that's happening in this new... So I'm going to like finish up my New 52 and then I'm going to see what happens with Rebirth because I don't know if I want to read it.
Anyway.
Think about doing comic reviews at some point.
So these are all based off of the New 52. These
a
movies.
lot of what's happening is very New 52, other than the fact we got the Dark Knight Returns storyline kind of in BVS.
And that wasn't New 52?
That's like 1980s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mera is Aquaman's wife or girlfriend, depending on when you go in the timeline. It's supposedly still played by Amber Heard, despite all the stuff going on with her and Johnny Depp and things like that. And
Is there something going on between?
yeah, apparently the reports are that he abused her.
Right. I heard about that, and
they're not sure for kind of Hollywood politics wise if that's going to affect her being in the movie or not. We will see.
Okay.
I've seen manipulations, photoshops of her in the role, and she looks fine. I've never really seen her act, so I don't know if she's a good actress or not. As long as it's not like Jessica Alba or something, or Megan Fox.
And if you have that character, it's just another reason to do Flashpoint.
What's that?
Flashpoint?
No, I mean what character? Mira?
Yeah.
Oh, was she?
Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, she did. Yeah, I forgot about that. Jesus. I'm not gonna eat this because I'm still talking. And they said her costume's kind of like chainmail, that like kind of blends into her skin, so it's very organic looking. And I think that's kind of how Atlantean armor should look.
For sure.
Is like organic sea life. J.K. Simmons, or as they're calling him, Jim Simmons, or no, what's it, Jim Gordon, but like G-Y-M, because those bulky workout photos. Yeah.
Why? Why is he so yoked?
He's so huge. But they...
Bane's gonna try to jack, or Harvey Dent's gonna try to jack him, and he's just gonna beat the shit out of him.
There we go. Harvey Dent, can we trust him?
Harvey Dent probably already happened.
Probably. Two-Face is probably around somewhere. People were wondering kind of what this Gordon was going to look like, and people at set said there has never been a more comic accurate looking Commissioner Gordon. Like he's got the trench coat, he's got a hairpiece, he's got the perfect mustache on, and they said he's even wearing the glasses that are like perfectly reflecting the light off the rim, so it gives like that white
really
glasses look. Yeah.
What? Let's see, I thought Gary Oldman was pretty good.
Gary Oldman was good. I don't like
Commissioner.
I loved the Tim Burton movies, but I don't like Gordon in that he's useless.
No, he's stupid. You don't even know that it's him. He doesn't even like put like when he shows up in Batman and Robin and like Poison Ivy is like, what's the word? Putting her spell on him or whatever, and then she's about to kill him. You don't know who that is.
No,
you don't know that it's Gordon unless you've seen Batman Forever.
Exactly.
No.
And I was gonna say I really like Gary Oldman as Gordon. But I feel like he's a little tamer than Gordon really is. I feel like Gordon's harsher. He's a little more gruff, and that's why I like J.K. Simmons in the role. Bryan Cranston was my number one pick. J.K.'s a close second.
Bryan Cranston can't do everything though. I don't.
No, but what would you rather? What would you rather have? Bryan Cranston as Zordon or Commissioner Gordon?
Zordon.
All right then, you get what you want.
I really would have rather had him stick around in Godzilla, but
no time for that.
Can't have what we want.
Nope.
We gotta have kick-ass.
You can't always get what you want. The Flash's initial costume will be pieced together by, it says spacesuits, but that's not completely accurate. It's he basically goes into NASA and Flash is a thief. He is ripping like NASA technology to build a suit so that it can withstand going the speeds that he goes.
Oh, that makes more sense, because the way that they worded it, like twice on there, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? I don't understand.
Because I actually watched a video of one of the guys that was on the set.
Okay.
And he was explaining, he's like, basically he's ripping like, the I think like rocket ship kind of technology so that he doesn't catch fire and combust when he goes.
Right.
I was like, well, that's cool. And so it's supposedly like the first half of the movie or whatever, his suit's gonna look like shit. It's kind of what I was getting. Like,
that sucks.
They said it's cool because like even when he's not moving, there's like electricity constantly bouncing off of him, and I was like, that's cool.
Why?
What?
Because he has to hold it together.
Well, the Flash is just yeah, I think that's part of it. I think that maybe, and they said Bruce Wayne's gonna have direct impact on what the suit ends up being, which makes sense.
A lot of sense.
Yes. Yeah, it says, however, Batman later creates a much more streamlined suit for him to wear. Cyborg's costume will be 100% CGI. They watched a scene getting filmed, and so I think basically it was just him with all the dots on him and then dots of his face.
Which I'm fine with that, because Batman vs. Superman's got pretty good CGI.
Yeah, and you need him to be able to move. If they really made like Cyborg, like...
Oh, he'd be
practically, he's like... Yeah. He needs to be able to move around.
Fat guy in a little coat.
Plus, his whole body's like a transformer. Like, his arm can turn into whatever.
It needs to be CGI to do it right.
And then the last...
Although, God, the cyborg scene in Batman vs. Superman is terrible.
It's really
one of
stupid.
the worst scenes I've ever seen in my life. In
that
like
whole
a modern
email
film.
thing, it's like, guess what? Justice League. Haha.
Well, and then it looks like Cloverfield. It's just like stupid, horrible YouTube acting. And
Did you know the guy that was playing his dad in that scene was the guy from T2?
Terminator 2? No, I did not.
You know who I'm talking about?
No.
The guy that created Skynet?
No.
That they ended up...
I haven't seen that movie in like 15 years.
That's really unfortunate.
I know.
And Hans Zimmer, after Batman v Superman, said he would never do a superhero movie again, which... Huge tear. That makes me really sad, because Hans Zimmer scores...
But all the themes are going to stay.
Yeah, they still have permission to use all his existing music and mess with his existing music that they've made for that. But the score was made with Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL. Junkie XL did the Mad Max score. He's staying on. And he's worked with Hans Zimmer, so I feel like we're not going to lose much score-wise.
Cool.
I feel like he'll be able to recreate and work with Hans Zimmer. He knows what Hans Zimmer stuff sounds like. So I think that will be good. But that is basically the set report. Are you more or less excited for Justice League?
I'm more excited.
Totally.
I just really want like Green Lantern and Shazam. I don't know why.
Let's not forget Martian Manhunter. Can we have Martian Manhunter?
Can we have Martian Manhunter? I just don't know why. I can understand them holding off for like an excitement factor later down the road.
Think about how many characters we got given in between like Civil War and Avengers 2. If they would have shoved all those characters in the first Avengers movie, we wouldn't have gotten the good character moments.
Sure,
and
you're right.
Also,
but then they also, is there going to be a Teen Titans? Is there going to be anything?
There's rumor that the Cyborg movie might become a Teen Titans movie, which I would be
fucking dope.
I would be more into. Like, who's Cyborg's villains? Like, how are you going to
give us? And who's going to be Robin if Robin's dead?
A Robin is dead.
A Robin is dead. Yeah.
What if Teen Titans is ran by Nightwing?
God. So I feel like the Teen Titans Robin would have to be Tim Drake, right? Yeah. Because Dick Grayson would be Nightwing, and then Jason Todd would be dead, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if we're gonna have Nightwing, it has to be Dick Grayson.
Nightwing runs Young Justice in the second season, which is kind of like the Teen Titans. He's the oldest, and everyone else is younger.
They could do that. They could do Nightwing, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd's dead, Tim Drake is Robin. Mm-hmm. They can do that. That's not hard.
It'd be really good.
That's not hard.
The timeline syncs up.
And then Jason Todd will be the Joker. And then, no, I'm just kidding.
Get out of here! Leave! Get out! Yeah, please go away. Good. Now that I can talk freely, I'm super excited for.
You will not censor me. It's a censorship.
I'm super excited for Justice League. We have 2 DC movies before Justice League comes out, and they're already like
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, they're already 33 months into filming. Suicide Squad comes out August 4th if you do premiere nights.
Yes.
It's not too far away. It's just going to seem like a long wait. And then
that's not far away at all. It's a month.
I don't remember the date, but then we get Wonder Woman. And then
this year?
Yeah, we get Wonder Woman before Justice League. 17.
But early 2017.
Yes.
Okay. Because we're not getting
Justice League till late
till November.
Yeah.
A year from November, which November's far away from now.
Right.
Doctor Strange.
Let's not. Don't get me there yet. What was I going to say about the reason for not introducing, like you're saying, Shazam, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, is how many characters have we been introduced to by the time Justice League starts? Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. How many characters are we getting introduced?
Cyborg, Flash.
But have we really been introduced to them, or we just witnessed them?
We
We still need to know who they are, understand the characters, be introduced to the new actors.
God, I'm so excited for The Flash.
Yes.
Okay, the episode I just saw is what is the shark? The giant shark.
King Shark.
Yeah, he's choking the shit out of the Flash.
He gets his own episode down the road.
Cool.
Like a full King Shark episode.
Yeah, which he looks impressive for a television show.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
And they said, like, they got asked, like, everyone's like, oh, please bring him back. And the show people said, like, he's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
But
I would imagine.
The Flash show took off, and they're like, yeah, all right. Well,
Okay.
yeah, it's later in the season a ways, but
and Arrow, I've been watching season 4. It's actually not that bad. It's pretty bad. I mean, I've heard horrible things about it. But
I'm done shitting on Arrow. I'm just gonna say I'm not interested in where the story is right now. Like I have a general understanding of what's happening right now,
and you're not there.
I'm
Okay.
not.
I'm just gonna watch it just to watch it, just to say I'm
How
even
did I
gonna
get a
watch.
soggy cracker, guys?
I'm even gonna watch Legends of Tomorrow.
Is that meat juices?
Yeah, it's just turkey juice. Do the initials T and J mean anything to you? Turkey juice? What was I saying? Oh, I'm once I get to that point, I'm gonna start watching Legends of Tomorrow.
Let me know how that is.
And Supergirl.
Which I may watch because it's going to be on the CW.
And I'm actually gonna watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter.
Well, and we won't be friends anymore, but that's okay.
But I just want to give it I just want to have as much of an understanding as I can.
A little bit of TV news because it happened in the last week, roughly. We tend to not go over a lot of TV news, but we can't do whatever we want.
We're
this is
supposed
our
to.
Podcast. I usually don't care enough to say anything.
It's supposed to be a TV and movie podcast, and it turned into the superhero power hour.
It's hard,
which is fine.
It's hard.
I'm so down.
It's hard to talk TV without spoiling anything because
Yeah,
it's usually
very true.
announcing things that are spoilers for an episode.
Exactly.
And I just don't know what you guys watch. So if there's a show that you guys want us to talk about, leave a comment down below. Be like, we'd like to see you do an after show for this show, a recap.
Watch
for
them
this.
tell us to watch the worst show ever. Like so
We won't do it, but you can tell us.
Sci-Fi.
You can tell us to do it. You're doing another fart face, man. It's really unsettling. But what I want to say is Supergirl. They finally, gotten their cojones together, and we're gonna have Superman in season 2. Like he's been glimpsed in the first season, but they casted him, and he's gonna be in the first 2 or 3
So
episodes.
who is it gonna be?
It's a guy from Teen Wolf. He looks like a young Superman. Like a Smallville Superman. He looks.
Was Smallville CW?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
And everyone said bring Tom Welling back. I'm like, yeah, but there was a Supergirl in Smallville, and it was somebody else. So it's like 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
If they do an Elseworlds like crossover thing. By the way, Flash shows up in an episode of Supergirl in the first season.
I saw a clip where they meet.
Yeah. I haven't watched it yet. But so they've already met, which is interesting. You know what's funny though? It had 0 impact on the Flash show. Like he didn't even disappear. It's like that never happened. It's weird.
Another thing too is that they don't exist in the same Earth universe.
they're on
So
different
how are
Earths.
they going to transition her? Is she going to merge into the Arrowverse?
Here's the other thing. All the CW shows are filmed in Vancouver. Supergirl is not filmed in Vancouver.
Well, it will be.
Yes, it will be. There's certain cast members that said they will not move to Vancouver.
Good. Because I've seen clips of it and it looks like a pile of shit. And I don't know what Andy's talking about when he says it's good.
Yeah, that's right. He likes that.
Yeah. It looks like... What network is this on? Is it on? Was it
Currently,
on?
CBS?
That makes sense.
Or NBC.
I'm just telling you, if it's NBC, it makes sense.
Not
is
better
bad.
cable.
Yeah.
NBC.
The best part of NBC was Scrubs.
Definitely Scrubs.
NB...
Not better cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we at, man? I'm...
Nuts and Balls cable.
Huh?
Nuts and Balls cable. NBC.
Oh.
But yeah, actually, so, I mean, other than that, a little bit of TV news you guys...
Oh,
can
she's
look
getting... Yeah, that's going to CW. You're right.
Right. But I think we wrapped up the Justice League set visit.
Cool.
And Rogue One. And if there's ever things that you guys see that maybe we miss or whatever, leave it down in the comments if you want us to talk about it next week. Get involved to do something, help our podcast grow and change and improve, and
Oh, for sure.
all those good things.
A lot of people think, like Andy and Cody, and I've always wanted to do this, but they want like a table discussion, and I would have done that if I didn't already have these couches. But I was actually trying to get rid of these couches for a while, and then nobody would take them, so I'd have nowhere to put them, so that's just kind of what it is. But I eventually want to get, like the swivel mic stand, and then everyone will have their own mic, and then, to talk, like put it next to you and shit like that,
Yeah.
I mean, but, for now, this is kind of the setup, so don't bitch. I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, I think that's all wrapped up.
Yeah. No,
Another episode?
I am very, very, very excited for
Justice League,
and
Rogue
Flash.
One, Spider-Man: Homecoming. So many
Oh
big
my God,
things.
it's a lot of stuff.
My wallet.
Yeah. The SoundCloud plug. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Hey guys, check us out on Twitter at the Fansplash, and also on SoundCloud. Fansplash, is that right?
Yeah.
Do that and subscribe, like, and comment our videos. Tyler's in the bathroom, so this is Jesse Swift saying, may the film be with you, and until next time,